Good afternoon. My name is Tim Ryan. I am the Chief Global Business Development Officer for Zoetic Global. I was a 20-year member of the United States Congress and represented Youngstown, Ohio. And the topic for the next few minutes is the re-industrialization of Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown has a very interesting past. On September 19th, 1977, we refer to that day as Black Monday. Black Monday is when Youngstown Sheet and Tube, the largest steel producer in our community, closed. 5,000 jobs immediately, and over the next few years, 50,000 jobs were lost in our community. Over $1.3 billion in wages were pulled out of our community. That's $1.3 billion in 1980 money, not today. The unemployment rate was about 25%. Absolute and utter devastation. Economically, socially, politically, the community was devastated. And as you all know, when you lose that kind of economic base, the ripple effect throughout your community of drugs and crime, and eventually even decades later, heroin and fentanyl, where Ohio was one of the top states in the country with overdose deaths. This is something that has been going on for a long, long time. We saw the jobs leave. We saw our young talent leave. We saw people go off to school at Ohio State or Georgia Tech or somewhere else and never come back because they didn't see any hope or opportunity. And so what we're trying to do at Zoetic Global, because of our leadership, our founder, Jerome Ringo, is from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Our CEO, Avery Hong, grew up in Western New York in a small working class town. He's lived in Cleveland for the last 20 or 30 years. I'm from Youngstown. Our top leadership is pretty much from Ohio. And you only can reindustrialize if you are intentional, that you want to reindustrialize. And I feel like for a variety of different reasons over the past however many decades, there's not been a real commitment to the forgotten towns, the forgotten cities of the United States of America. So while this talk may be about the reindustrialization of Youngstown, at Zoetic, we're talking about how do we help set a model, set an example, but we need to reindustrialize all of these towns, all of these forgotten cities, and we need to turn the forgotten cities into the comeback cities. And we're not saying that, thank you. We're not saying that we have some magic wand that we're going to wave in Youngstown and all of a sudden we're going to bring back the 20,000 jobs or 30,000 jobs that were in that steel mill. But what we are saying is we're only in control of what we're in control of. And we're in control of Zoetic. And so we intentionally, with our product, we have a refrigerant product that saves our customers anywhere between 20 and 40% on their energy costs and will generate a number of carbon credits because of the refrigerant that we will produce in Youngstown, Ohio. But we made a commitment that our plant is going to be in Youngstown, Ohio. We made a commitment that in that almost 30,000 square foot plant where we will be able to ship billions of dollars of our refrigerant all over the world, that we want to make sure that the workers there are taken care of. Nobody came to us and said, you should unionize this shop. We called the local building trades union. And we said, we want you to unionize our facility because we want the working class people who are here in Youngstown to have a good wage, a good pension, good health care benefits, some dignity. All we can do is what we can do. And so as our company grows, so we will grow the opportunity for rebuilding the middle class in Youngstown, Ohio. You know, and I tell the story all the time of my grandfather, who was first generation Italian-American, lived in a small town just a little bit north of Youngstown, but this was the story across our region and across the country. He had a good paying job. He was the usher at 1045 Mass at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. He ran the beer tent at our church summer festival, which came in handy as my brother and I got a little older. He was able to participate in the broader community. And you wonder why the country's coming unraveled, the country's coming apart. Everybody's working so damn hard. You know, everybody's working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day in working class communities all across the United States. No breathing room, no hope. And they're making a wage that's much less than they were making probably a decade or two before. And then you wonder why everybody's so angry, so upset. We all, as we talk about what this new economy is going to look like, we all have to have a high standard. That it's not just going to be about us making money, which of course we want to do. We're capitalists, we're in a free market, and we want to make money so we can reinvest into the next generation of technology that we can implement in communities and continue to hire more people in a place like Youngstown, Ohio, or other working class places. And we are significantly going to shift the carbon credit market. Our carbon credit market, our carbon credits are being rated super premium. We know there's a huge controversy over nature-based credits. Ours are precise. You will be able to monitor moment by moment by moment how much carbon we are preventing from going out into the atmosphere. There'll be no BS. You'll know exactly what our technology is doing. And there'll be complete transparency. And in a cynical world, we want to make sure that it's transparent. And we want to make sure that those workers have time and money to be involved in their community. You know, as I said about my grandfather, we want that for all of our workers across the board. And so we're here to do our small part in a 30,000 square foot facility in a small little patch of land in Northeast Ohio. But we also want to shift this carbon credit market. We are going to take a percentage, because of our leadership and our organization, we're not going to stuff every dollar we get from a carbon credit and put it in our pockets. We are going to share those credits with the businesses. We're going to share those credits with the schools. So if we go into a school, we want to share a significant amount of those carbon credit dollars with that local school district or in a municipality with that local city. Why? Because 10, 15, 20% of our carbon credits, that may mean another cop on the beat. That may mean another couple of teachers, right? We want to use our carbon credits to go back into towns like Youngstown and make sure there aren't any areas of the city that are food deserts. We want to make sure there's fresh and healthy food. Because if America's going to be a strong country, all 330 million of us need to be on the field playing, trying to shift the economy, bend the curve on climate, and rebuild the middle class. That's the charge. It's not about shareholders. It's about stakeholders. It's about the community that we're in. It's about the state that we're in. It's about how we treat our workers. It's about if we reinvest back into the company to make sure we're continuing to try to drive. Maybe it's a little bit with refrigerant. Maybe it's a little bit with water. Maybe it's a little bit with a different kind of power or renewable. We want to be in the game. We're not going to be on the sidelines. And when we talk about the renaissance of the middle class in the United States, or the United States leading the way, we want them to talk about we're leading the way because places like Youngstown, Ohio are benefiting from it. And the small towns that many of you come with it. And I just want to say this. If working class, and I hope you listen to what I'm saying, because I believe this in my bones. If working class people don't feel like they are benefiting from the green economy, the new economy. There will be no green economy. And that's been part of the problem. That's what we're seeing with the strike right now, with the UAW. Working class people, whether they're white or black or brown or gay or straight or a man or a woman or from the north or from the south, working class have to see themselves. The same people that are going to build the new energy economy are the same working class families that built the last industrial age for us. And we need to recognize that and reinvest back into these communities. And we pledge to you that Zoetic is going to do it. And as President Kennedy said in his speech on peace at American University in 1963, our problems are man-made, and therefore they can be solved by man. And man can be as big as he wants. There is no problem that man cannot solve. We have solved the seemingly unsolvable, and we believe that we can do it again. Thank you.